And, like, I like things that taste strongly of, like, black pepper. And, like, they make my mom get all, like, ugh, sweaty. And I'm just like, it's fine, man. But I don't know if that means anything. Oh, look at this fucking Destiny shit.
I am losing memory capabilities. Control of
Welcome back, Robin.
Once Vegas core is destroyed, the vacuum of energy will pull you back through to hell. We have your destination set to the well's location. Now use the crucible to power it down, and the portal here on Mars will be closed permanently. They will not allow access to the well without a fight. But I'm sure that's what you're looking for, isn't it?
Man, that just feels like a Scylla. That's like a Rachel O.C. thing. The operator sitting there being like, yeah, they won't allow you into the building without a fight, but I'm assuming that's what you're looking for. Yo, fucking mother brain, what's going on? This is actually fucking, like, really Destiny shit. It is mother brain. It really is mother brain, though. Game still looks gorgeous 5 years later. Here's the thing, okay? I think video games are not peaked graphically, but I think that we've hit the plateau. Where it's gonna take a long time before things get better looking. And then when they do, we're gonna hit that weird point where it's like uncanny valleyed on humans for a while. And then we'll hit a point where stuff just does look realistic and it won't, like, it won't get much better than that. And then we're gonna have to go back and finally understand that making your game look more real doesn't mean that it's better. Because this game is stylized, obviously. But a lot of games just try to push the it's real looking and think that that makes up for shitty world design.
I put too much stuff into my ramen.
Oh no.
It's fine now. It's just like really cheesy.
Like, think about, like, Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight came out, and it's fucking gorgeous, but it's a 2D fucking Metroidvania platformer. It's got such beautiful art direction. I almost fucking walked off the edge immediately!
The other ramen connoisseur.
Not so much anymore. It hurts my stomach. But, like, good ramen, yeah. Not like instant anymore, though.
I'm almost done, Nick.
That's what I mean. The good ramen. I just made good ramen.
Yeah.
I figured if you were gonna be a little occupado, let's finish the Doom.
Yeah. And then, Spelunk.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I'm sniffling. I added too much hot sauce.
Mmm.
I shot a giant
that earlier.
goat skull, and it turned into a Funko Pop.
Yep.
Oh, fuck.
Also need to finish it. Listen, I'm almost finished Doom, and then I can work on Doom Eternal another time. Like, this aesthetic is fucking strong. Like, look at this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's good. Yeah.
This is like, what if the Fade in Dragon
Hollow
Age
Knight.
didn't fucking suck? Hollow Knight? Yeah, I need to finish Hollow Knight.
I mean,
But,
I never
like-
beat the last boss.
Like, when I say finish Hollow Knight, I don't mean finish Hollow Knight. I mean, like, I gotta at least do the original story. Like, where it ends from there. Cool. Dude, that song has not left your head.
Uh-uh.
The good ending? Would the good ending
tried
not be
listening.
like a Hollow Knight ending that takes like 7 years to get? Like,
I literally have Let the Bodies Hit the Floor playing right now, and I'm still
Nice.
like, da-na-na.
Well, that came up because, like, us talking about watch it, and then I was like describing how in one of the episodes of Sabrina on Netflix,
I'm sorry, I just started a playlist of songs like that, and I started playing Ba with the Ba.
oh my god,
Ball with the ball.
ball with the ball, the band, diggy diggy.
Anyways.
But there's like a fucking episode of Sabrina where the ending of the episode is the song Get Down with the Sickness, but it's only the intro guitar riff, and right when it goes quiet to do the ooh ah ah ah, the episode ends. Like you can't end an episode of a show without the ooh ah ah ah. Like that is a requisite of that song. You need that.
I got mushroom nightlights today.
Oh. Did you get
about
ones that look like psilocybin mushrooms?
They're hard to get a picture of. Hold on.
I'm assuming the answer is no. They look like normal, like cartoon mushrooms.
They're more subtle than that.
Oh, hello?
Also, as I was describing to Nick, I'm basically down to one shitty PS4 controller.
Oh, those are so cute, Nick.
They're very cute. They also slowly change color, but very slowly and very slightly. Rachel thought she was going insane staring at that.
That's really funny to me.
You know what we
I
should
took a
do?
video and sped it up.
Get high and watch it.
Oh, we were absolutely stoned.
Oh, okay.
This is the last bar weed today. We went through the last little bit. Put a lot of keef on it, which is valuable. So make it even better. And then now we're out.
Dude, fuck this.
I do have a vape pen though.
I love
so
how
dab pen, so.
you and your Rachel are the most chaotic neutral couple.
Yeah. What's
Just
that?
Let's go stealing. Let's go racing down the highway going 100.
I feel like it's never let's go stealing. It's let's go out and then they happen to be stealing.
Sometimes stealing happens. Yeah. It's not-
Still, can you imagine Tyler and I being at a market and being like, let's steal this? No.
Neither of us talk to each other about it because you can't say that out loud. It just
Well,
happens.
yeah, but I'm just saying, you couldn't imagine Tyler and I stealing anything.
Well, that's because you're like lawful good and I'm lawful evil. So it's like I'm graduating further into the evil side versus the lawful neutral side. But I'm always lawful because it's like I don't want to fucking deal with cops, man. Like I've had to deal with cops in my life, and I'm just as much of a shit to them as I am with everybody else.
Oh, same. I have no respect for cops when I talk to them.
Like, I have respect for the idea of cops. Like, a guy
sure.
who's like, I want to do good and go out into the world and protect people thing. Like, yeah, someone's got to uphold society. But on the other hand, like, when you're some weird fucker that shows up at my door and is like, hey, you got to go back to school or else your parents could have you taken away from them. And I'm just like, that's a problem with your shitty system. That's not my fault.
Here's the thing, the only thing I love about being a woman is whenever I get pulled over, all I have to do is tug my shirt down just a little, and then cry, and make up some... Do you know how many times I've lied to the police?
Oh, yeah, of course. Same.
Like, why were you speeding? The one time I legit just told him, like, I am on my period and I have no tampons, and he
Perfect,
believed
there
it.
you go.
And he just went, go on ahead,
Yeah,
man.
most people in general will not question that sort of thing.
He just went, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I lied once. I don't lie. I lied.
I mean, like, literally, when the cop came to my door and was, like, trying to guilt me into going back to school after, like, I got tired of my mom screaming at me and, like, fucking freaking out and shit because of her not liking how I was handling school. Like, I just, like, went, so, like, hey, are you going to take me right now? No. Can you force me to leave the house now? No. Is there an order from the court saying that I need to leave and that they're taking me from my parents? No. Okay, and then I just closed the door in his face and went upstairs and played World of Warcraft. Like
Yeah,
that.
that's fair.
And then the other experience that I had with the cops was my dad got the cops called on him because my mom lied and said that he wasn't allowing me to see her, when it was that I had ran away to my dad's because I didn't want to deal with my mom screaming at me constantly. And so I went and just stayed there and refused to go back. And when the cops showed up, this like 5'5" cop lady walked in with sunglasses on, trying to be intimidating. And she just was like, "Is it true that you're not letting your son do his homework?" I'm like, "I'm literally doing like my math homework right now." And she's like, "I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to your father." I'm like, "Oh, sorry to answer your question." And like just etc. And she's like, "Go outside and talk to your mother, she's worried about you." I'm like, "I really don't want to. Do it. Go outside and see your..." And it's just like, she just kept getting mad. And at one point my dad like tried to walk up to her and be like, "You know, I think that you're really making him uncomfortable by being like aggressive and shit." And she just like put her hand on her gun and was like being really like, "I'm gonna pull this gun out and threaten you about
Here's the
it."
thing.
It's like, what the fuck is this lady
Female
doing?
female cops are so much worse than male cops because they feel
Sure,
like they
like,
have to prove
Yeah,
something.
they're compensating.
Yeah, also,
And
when we went outside, the dude that was outside with my mom was a stereotypical copman in that he had the shitty...
A beer gut?
No, like, not quite. Like, the shitty plastic-framed tinted sunglasses that you buy from, like, a dollar store. And then a Tom Selleck-ass mustache.
Yeah.
And he was like, "You should come over here and say hi to your mom." I'm like, "No, because if I do that, she's going to try and make me leave." And then she just kept getting mad. And I'm like, "I'm just going to go back inside." And she's like, "Aren't you going to, like, make him come with me?" And he just kind of shrugged. It was like, "I'm not going to touch your kid." Like, he didn't want to be there.
First off, I have something stuck in my teeth and I can't get it. But the only time like I ever had a bad experience, but even when I got a ticket, the first ticket I ever got, it wasn't a bad experience. Like I deserved the ticket. I sped and totaled my car. And he didn't want to give me anything because I was like, "Am I gonna go to jail?" He's like, "No, sweetie, you're fine. You're not gonna go to jail." Like he did not know how to handle me just breaking down because I destroyed a dude. I'd obliterated a dude's garden. But he's like, "You're not gonna go to jail." Like that guy was nice. He even called me later, like, "I have to give you a ticket. My commander-in-chief says I need to." And I'm like, "Alright, that's fine. Whatever. I don't care." The only like bad experience I ever had with a cop was when I took my seatbelt off pulling into a parking spot and they ticketed me for driving without a seatbelt.
That's pretty
He was like, "Your car was in motion and
really
your
looking
seatbelt
at
wasn't
somebody.
on."
That
I
is,
was
we don't legally have quotas, but we have quotas.
Yeah, and he was just like, "You were driving without your seatbelt on." And I was like, "I was reverse parking into this parking spot." He's like, "The car was in motion and your seatbelt wasn't on. I saw you take it off." I'm like, "So you saw that I had it on?" And then he gave me driving without a seatbelt, which was like a $280 fine and like points on my license. Yeah, I was pissed.
Yeah, I would have gone to court for that, for sure.
I didn't. It's like, there's no fucking point.
You would have won that, no doubt.
And then,
I think that it would have been one of those, one because of no contest, though. Like, the guy just wouldn't have shown up.
There's a good chance of that,
Probably,
too, but either
yeah.
way, I think any slightly reasonable judge would be like, "Yeah, it's dumb."
that's dumb. Oh, and then there was the texting on my cell phone, which I wasn't. It was a haha, I got it out of my tooth.
It was your, what do you call it? Your GPS.
It was my GPS. I
GPS.
reached over to press a button on the GPS while at a stoplight, and then once we started moving, I stopped messing with the GPS, and then he pulled me over, and he was just like, I think it was the same cop.
Oh,
I mean, if you live in like a small enough area, usually they're in the same regions, so.
It was the tiny college town that I used to live beside that I went to all the time. Yeah, I was like super fucking pissed because like he was just like, "You were texting on your cell phone." I just pointed him like, "It's a GPS." He's like, "Why do you need a GPS? It's Brockport." I'm like, "I'm going to a dentist that I've never been to before. I need to know where the dentist is."
But also, if you're like me, you might just fucking suck at directions when it comes to that sort of shit. Like,
Yeah, if it's not Walmart, Wegmans, or work, I need a GPS. But, yeah, so like I was super fucking pissed. Other than that, every time, and I've gotten pulled over a shit ton. Ask
Demonic
Tyler. There are
voice
times where
killed
I'm
him.
like, there are times where I'm like, I got pulled over,
oh,
and then I just cry, or I'm like, I was going 5 miles over the speed limit because I'm bleeding. And they're like, well, where are you bleeding? Do you need to go to the hospital? I'm like, no, like monthly. And then they get super uncomfortable.
That is a good card to play. I think one of the reasons I don't get ticketed too much too is that cops are dude bros who like that I drive a stick. I swear, because I got pulled over doing 80 and a 55.
Yep.
I was speeding, and they just let me off with a warning.
Like, I can tell you a cop that wouldn't have worked on, but that's because he's like the least dude bro dude. But on the other hand, it's like, yeah, I guarantee you that a majority of them are probably dude bros.
Yeah, they probably saw the stick shift and was like, I'd speed too.
They're probably like, hey, fair enough. Yeah, exactly. It's like, that's not a good.
Like my brother, his first vehicle was this like, it was one of those like the, you know, like the cars, they're real small, but dudes like dude bros deck them out with like the gigantic spoiler on the back.
Yeah.
Oh, super.
And like,
Yeah. I was literally reading a review about Subarus where the guy, dude, I literally watched a review of a one today where he was looking at like this Japanese Subaru and talking about the culture around it and stuff.
Fucking watching regular car reviews.
Of course I was. There's a giveaway for the car too. We have to buy merch from the website to enter into it.
they're surprisingly good cars.
Oh, don't get me, I would love one. The culture around them is kind of but I would love one.
So that's what my brother
everything
wanted.
is usually good quality for some reason.
My brother wanted the tiny little like racing like jacked up Subaru where like the tires are super thin and the spoilers are used for racing. That's what he wanted. And so for his 16th birthday, that's what my dad got him. Meanwhile, I got a 2004 Ford Focus. Yay. I was super pissed, but whatever. So he got one of those. And he was speeding like I think he just got his fucking license.
Yeah.
Like he got off his permit and got to his license and he was like, I'm gonna go fucking speed. And he was like racing up and down these back roads and like nobody's there and like it's just farms so you can see if an animal's gonna jump out in front of you.
That's definitely the areas that you speed in.
Yeah.
But he didn't see the fucking cop like in plain view. He thought it was like I thought it was like a farmer checking on land or whatever. And so the cop like turns his sirens on, pulls him over, and he's like, "Do you know I pulled you over?" And brother's like, "Probably because I was going like 110 and like a 55." The guy was just like, "Yeah." My brother's like, "I just got my license. This is my first car." And then the guy was just like, "I mean, it's a nice ride."
I think that depending on the area you're in, that sort of stuff also flies a lot easier. Like if you're in redneck lands.
Yeah, that'll fly easier for sure.
Oh yeah, if you have a cool vehicle and you're in like banjo picking town, you're fine.
Nobody around here arrests any of the kids that do fucking drag races on the farmer back roads around here.
You just get told like, don't fucking do that.
There was a class action lawsuit against Ford for their the Ford Focus transmissions. Yeah.
Yep.
That's why if you can get a manual one, they're cheap.
I do want to say I do very much like put a QAnon sticker
But
on
if you
your
get a
car.
manual one, like a stick shift, you don't have that problem.
Then you don't have the problem, and the value's low because they already
Ford Focus.
very nice.
That's what I was looking for. It was a Ford Focus stick shift, but I could not find one.
I
They're
almost
cute
thought-
cars.
I mean, hold on. Let me actually post that. I got closer than I should have to find another car.
Nick.
And this is very nice Subaru. There's a stick shift, but it has this weird rat. There's stuff wrong with it. So.
There's this Subaru here, and again, it's one of those like big spoiler fuckboy probably races it. But I saw it in the mall when I went to Barnes and Noble to look for Tyler's stupid minis.
Don't buy those.
I couldn't find them anywhere. But I went there and I was like, oh, if I find them, I'll buy them for him. And I couldn't find them. But like in the
they
parking
are
lot,
only like $30.
this dude had like, it was the Subaru with the big spoiler, and it was like radiant, like the front was white, and then it slowly went to like a hot pink, and then there was just an anime like Miku on the side of it. And I looked at that, and I'm like, and then like he had those, you know, those lights that people put like in their room, like the ones that are in the corners, and go around and like follow like the corner of the wall.
Literally what Rachel has in her room. Yes.
Yeah.
I want some of those so bad. But he had the, because I was like looking at this fucking car, like I'm gonna look at this car, it's cool looking.
Yeah.
And like he had lights like underneath the spoiler.
Of course.
I'm like, I wanted to wait and just see, and like the tires were almost non-existent, like they were so thin, and I just wanted to wait and just see. Like, I want you to turn this car on so I can be like, please turn every light on, Because, like, I might be a fat bitch, but if a lady goes, your car's cool, show off, you know a guy will.
Yeah, no matter what.
So
Here's the
wanna
thing.
see-
I don't
Also-
think it even matters if it's a lady. I think that, like, a 12-year-old who doesn't have any
Oh, that too,
appreciation
yeah.
would be like, that's a cool car, mister. And he'd be like, fucking want to see it turned on? Any excuse. Any excuse.
I waited like 10 minutes in the parking lot, and he never came out, and I'm like, fuck.
Also,
Or they. It
before
could have been a girl.
stopped making the focuses for much more boring reasons. They haven't stopped making them. It's just that their sales in the U.S. are like 80% truck, and they realized there was just no reason to make sedans or hatchbacks or
I don't
anything
understand it.
So they
don't
only make
understand truck culture.
the SUV and the truck, while the European market still gets the Focus. They got my favorite Focus in a better model in Europe now, and we don't get it over here. I'm very upset about it because I want that car.
Aww.
Like, Europeans
I'm
are
sorry.
so considerate
I mean,
of
it's
the
still
idea
for me
of
anyways,
not
but-
having a fuck-off huge vehicle. And then people
That's
around,
a
even
cute
around
little
here,
car.
they just want
Yeah, I
the
wanted
biggest,
it.
dumbest
It was
shit.
fun.
I think it's because, like, here, like, the streets in
man's
Europe are
face.
very narrow.
Or lack thereof. This is my kind of monster face.
Yeah. Oh, they finally looked at my car, and it's it needs a whole new wheel, like wheel, tire, and tire rod and everything.
Oh, Jesus.
So I'm not canceling the insurance claim. So at least they'll pay for some of it. It's still gonna cost me like 700 maybe, 6 something like
Oof.
that. Because my deductible is 500, and then I have to buy a tire. Because the insurance is only covering the one tire that got damaged. The other tire is technically not damaged, but you can't just replace one tire. You got to do the other one. So
Yeah, because then, like, it's gonna wear
feels
differently. and-
unevenly, and it's a whole thing. So I got to replace the other one too, and I got to pay for that myself. But employee
That
discount
sucks.
at my place is like at cost plus 5% for parts.
I love employee discounts.
It's so nice.
Like,
I
the
don't
hourly...
work at a Volkswagen place, and they do that.
The hourly rate, yeah, because I have a Chevy, and I was just like, and they're like, no, if anything happens, like, you're an employee, it's fine. The only thing they can't do are, like, recalls, I guess.
Yeah, they won't do like engines, like stuff, like some things are like Volkswagen because it's a foreign car. But I guess with you, at least in both American market, so
Yeah.
I'm sure they're a lot more similar.
And, well, because the other day, my, you're a car man, so let me tell you this.
You're a
Yeah, I
car
know.
man.
You're a car man.
Your car.
So the other day I was driving, and I think I texted Tyler when this happened. I was driving, and my car just kind of stopped. Like, everything just went boom, like, shut off. The air, everything. I couldn't steer it. Like, thankfully I wasn't going, like, super fast. I was only going, like, 10. But everything turned off for maybe 2 seconds, and everything started right back up again, and it was fine.
Interesting.
And then the next day, my check engine light comes on, and I'm like, fuck. So I get it scanned. They're like, there's no codes. We don't know what the fuck's happening. They're like, could be an air filter. We don't fucking know. Because then immediately the next day, I start up my car, and the fucking check engine light's gone.
Mm.
And so I'm just kind of like, I don't want to drive my car going 65 and suddenly it stops. But they're like, it's not showing that anything's wrong. And I'm
Was
like,
it
and I-
right after you started it?
No, I was driving it for like, I don't know, maybe like 10 minutes.
Okay.
I was like getting. It's not the battery, I don't think, because if it was the battery, it wouldn't have started.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So, I don't know if it is because like here's the other thing. I was like one tick away from empty, and it was cold. So I don't know if that had anything to do with
That
it.
your fuel pump could have been working too hard in the cold.
Yeah.
And you starved the engine. That's possible. Yeah.
For
So it's
lack
like-
of car knowledge, that's like when your battery's at like 10% and then you take it out and you're like outside in the cold and it starts to
mean-
really tick down real fast.
10 minutes in a little 4-cylinder, your engine's still not warmed up, so it could have been that. Yeah.
It was terrifying.
You still,
like-
does your car still steer when it turns
Yeah,
on? Okay, so that's good. My car does
Like-
not. It's terrifying.
It
like-
just stopped.
My car has like an electrical pump that actually turns it. It's not hydraulic, which is really annoying. Because hydraulic, if you lose power, it's just you lose the hydraulic part, but the mechanical you can still turn it if you just hold.
Basically,
it.
it's still usable.
It's just a little harder, but you can use it.
yeah, like I could turn
Mine
the
was
wheel,
blacked
but
out.
it's not as easy. Like I
Yeah.
was like, it was terrifying. But then like, so I went and I immediately got gas, and then like it was fine. It's just the check engine light was on, and I'm like, that's strange. So I don't know. My dad was like, could have been the fuel pump being like, the fuck, there's hardly any gas in here, and it's like
Yeah, fuel pump.
25 degrees.
Fuck, my body's on fire. I'm dead.
It's like, Because like it works fine now, but then I've noticed like if it starts to get low on gas, because I'm bad and I'm lazy and I'm like I'll let it get to empty before I fill it, which I need to stop doing now. But like the lower in gas it gets, it kind of is like, hey, this kind of sucks and we're gonna run like shit now.
Yeah, your fuel pump's probably going out. It's not good. That's why you're not supposed to really let it get that low, because the fuel pump has to work harder when there's less liquid in it. Like it's not like just a general kind of like trying to get under 8th in the tank or so.
Oh no, I let it go until the fill your gas tank light comes on.
The
I mean, I'm not thinking about it either.
the car people that we answer for like specifically tell the people like you need to have this filled at least an 8th or we're fining you.
Yeah, 8th is what we put all the cars in the lot at. It used to be a 4th, but then we were like, that's too much work, so we made it an 8th.
Well, they say like if you're bringing it back after a reservation and you've got it down to like an 8th because you're coming back, you should make time anyway, just to put it up to at least half, just in case it gets parked somewhere fucking weird. Because sometimes they have to park them on like street corners or something like that if the parking has been stolen by other people.
We usually just tell people like we usually just tell people like whenever we give out rentals or not rentals, loaners, it's like, hey, whatever the gas can, whatever like that says in the tank, that's what it needs to come back as. But then people be like, I don't know how to work this new mumbo jumbo. It's like you literally just press the button in the inside that says open up your fucking gas tank.
Ours you push on the gas tank thing itself and it unlocks.
We have those, and then we have buttons on the inside. It
There's
depends on
so
how
many
new the
calls
car
I
is.
get where people don't know how to just fucking turn on the new vehicles for the car company. Like,
Oh yeah,
it's just it's a button that says press start, and like
I know. I took a car for a test drive one time. The salesperson was too busy, so me and Connor drove the car out to the person. They drove it around the block, and we gave them the key, and they were like, "What is this?" This is the fob. It doesn't have a key on it. It's just a push button.
But here's the thing: a lot of those
Explain
cars,
that to
it's like I learned out because so all of the advisors were super fucking busy, and I'm like, there's just this little old lady being just like I don't know, like what happens if, because there was something that was happening where she couldn't start her vehicle, like the fob wasn't starting, but she didn't have the $50 to replace the battery on the fob, which I'm like, $50 for the battery is fucking insane.
The
but
fob
whatever.
itself is like 200.
And so
and
it's
you know they're
insanity.
making those for like 3 cents.
Right?
Yeah. And so I was just like, well, there's gotta be a way to start it with the actual physical key. And so I walk out there, forget that the manual's a thing, and we're just looking at the car. I'm like opening up shit. And Ford has this thing that in the glove box, when you open up the lid, in the very bottom and the very back of the glove box is a little hole where you can put the key in and the car starts.
I don't
like,
think Chevys have that.
I'm like, why isn't that a thing? My Chevy, do you want to know where, like, because, like, on the outs, like, the door handle on the outside, there's no...
I know. I know. I trust me. I've had to deal with that. I've had many cruisers die. Yeah, I know.
You have to fucking put it underneath and remove the whole handle.
Yeah, I mean, a big chunk of it at least, yeah.
It's so fucking stupid.
And to put it back on is so hard. Yeah.
It's
There
so
are many
bad.
cars on the lot that it's not on right, and I'm just like, someone will see it. Someone will notice.
It's so bad. That's like the one thing I hate. I don't hate my Chevy because it's honestly a decent. But that's the one thing where like
Cruisers are fine, yeah.
it's like when the fob goes, because I've had it go so many times. Like it'll die and then it'll just miraculously start working again. And I'm like, cool. But it always starts working again after I've like shoved the key in the hole to open up the fucking door. I'm like, you goddamn bitch. I hate it. I fucking hate it. Let me see. Do Chevy?
We have the Chevy Trax is about the worst car in existence, and they die all the time. Our theory is that they're made in Korea, and the batteries are shipped over in like cold, shipping containers or something like that, because they're just bad batteries. All of them are. It's so annoying.
How to start your Chevrolet with a dead key fob? Let's look. Let's see. I don't have a keyless entry, so.
This is one of those
You are
things where it's
very
like,
gay.
I will actually agree with old people that like, yeah, it is kind of fucking stupid to just be
There's
like,
some things I like more. Yeah.
what if we just made everything
my
keyless?
God,
And it's just
Nick.
like,
So I like the keyless entry.
I don't think it's a bad idea, but I think it's one of those things where like, if you just if you just completely remove the ability to open with a key, it's kind of dumb because it's like
They don't do that though. You can. It's just kind of dumb.
yeah, like you know what I mean though. Like the idea that some people have where they're like, why bother with a key when you could just press the button? It's like because what if the button stops like unless you really fuck your key, it's gonna be fine.
My mom was really stupid and she traded in all of the vehicles they had aside one to get like a 2021 Ford truck because it's my mother and of course. And her truck, she has a thing where she just presses her thumb on a keypad that reads her thumbprint and then it opens.
Yeah, those are always cool.
It's dumb. Because like I tried
really
it.
stupid,
I put my thumb on it and just went, nah. I'm like, what? I'm like, Mom, what if you lose your thumb? She's like, then I have a key. I'm like, what if you... And the same thing, like, the inside is a push to start, but then, like, what?
There's like a key pocket? What is that?
Yeah, see, I told you, isn't it cool?
What the fuck is that?
Right?
I never knew about that. We never had a dead fob before, obviously. It's a brand new
Nick,
car, so.
Nick, you were so fucking welcome.
I mean, we're not gonna have a dead fob problem, probably. Yeah, maybe.
What if
All
you...
our
Oh,
cars
you
are
don't have a
brand new.
Chevy, do you? Never mind.
No, I have a Volkswagen, and it's just a key. It's just one of the switch keys, so.
I do like... That's what I have. I like the switch key.
Have fun.
Here's the thing. I don't think that it's HP that's my problem usually, guys. I think it's or not not ammo. It's usually HP because I get hit like an idiot.
My car does a thing. An aftermarket thing I put into it was
I'm
hold down
squish.
I can hold down the unlock. Wait, what is that? I can hold down the unlock button and it'll roll my windows down.
Ooh.
Like on the fob, so I can like and up if I hold down the lock button.
I mean, you can lurk.
How did you
The
do
emote
that?
is called lurk. Yeah, it's like an aftermarket Volkswagen thing where it goes into the system and changes. Like there's all kinds of little stuff I can change.
I
It's very
really
fun.
want to get a remote start because
I
hate,
know,
like,
right?
I hate going out into like sketchy ass fucking neighborhood and like having to let my car run and then stand awkwardly in like the waiting area and watch to make sure no one steals my car.
Yeah, it is pretty fog. I agree. I really, it's like $300 for my car to get remote start, and I want it because you can do it with a stick. But it's
I
just
don't know
a
how
little
much
different.
it is for.
I went in and asked. Like I went to the people and it was like, give me a quote. Like they do it so that you can get their fob, which has a half a mile range, but it's like an extra fob to start your car,
Some
which is
dude's
insane.
gonna fucking steal your fob and just like before he can even see your car, he's gonna be clicking that button repeatedly.
Yeah, that's $100 though. We can also just have them make it work with the stock fob, which is free. So do that. Not as much as
I do
range, but I
that
don't
because
need
like I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure like the stock fob. Well, like Ford has this thing where
my
it's an
eyes
app
hurt.
on your phone that as long as you
Yeah,
have
we
Wi-Fi,
actually-
you can start your vehicle from anywhere.
We also have that. It's
Can't
new,
wait
but yeah.
until the Russian hackers get in your phone
I know,
and just
right?
start activating
Granted-
your car doors.
Granted, whenever the door opens, the car shuts off. So like you can't get your car can't get
Oh
stolen.
yeah, if you remote
but-
start a car, you can't drive off with it still. You need the key.
Oh.
You need the key on you. You need to go back into the car, press the brake down, hit the start button again. It will just run the car. We can't actually drive it. It was just warm up again.
Yeah.
There's
Let's
gonna be
see
ways
how
around
much.
that.
Oh yeah.
See how much.
Like
Where's it looking for?
just
Yeah,
the stuff
not
that
what
none
they're
of us
trying to
can ever predict. It's like that
Okay, yeah, it's about $300. That sucks.
it's like the problem that happens when you look at like Star Trek and stuff like that, where like you look back at original Star Trek and they're talking to walkie-talkies basically because that was the closest they had. And then at least by the 80s, there were computers. Computers did exist, and so they just went, well, what if everybody just had a handheld computer, right? And I'm guessing
fair.
like tablet technology and the utilization of such probably
Touchscreens existed.
yeah, like they exist, but like tablet technology wasn't a thing yet. So like modern day tablets and stuff probably was some nerds being like, let's try to replicate that shit. You know, people have talked about handheld touchscreens in sci-fi for years, but nobody could have predicted the widespread use of fucking cell phones that were so powerful that they are just in and of themselves tiny mobile, basically supercomputers almost for like the era of back then, right? And it's gonna be one of those weird things where some guy is going to not foresee the dire consequences of literally car hacking. Like we're gonna get those movie things where people are like, I've got a smart car, and then some guy hacks it and makes it kill him. Like that's gonna happen in the next couple of years.
I kind of can't wait for it.
Wanna know
What
what I
was-
really want if they weren't so much money?
The question is
A
which
Tesla.
car
Just because the
company
inside of them looks cool.
happens. That's the
Yeah,
car it's
look.
gonna happen to first. It's gonna be a Tesla. Just because somebody
You
will
can
want to try
play
to
Mario
ruin Elon
Kart
Musk.
in your Tesla.
You can play
you know
Mario
how
Kart
fucking-
with your Tesla.
You know, that's what I mean. Like, it's so cool.
No, I was meaning like you can drive.
Again.
Oh,
Yes,
like you can
yeah.
actually race to. You're a fucking. I hate you. Just. My rage for you knows no bounds.
And yet you're still here all these years later.
I'm still here.
Maybe not. Maybe I'll leave.
Talk on to me.
Really.
Nick, that's the winner.
Why are you in the
Fucking-
corner?
Fucking Stockholm syndrome.
He's not technically wrong.
I mean, yeah, the difference is it's the other way around.
What?
The joke is that I'm the one that strapped you.
I take offense to that.
Oh.
Chat, between Tyler and I, who's the more annoying one? Honest answers only.
I mean, they also have
won't
to
be
deal
a-
with me way more often than they had to deal with you.
I won't be offended. That's a lie, I will
Well.
be.
Nick,
Oh shit, dude. Curveball.
you gotta go for the third answer of that question. Like, it's like if you're sitting there like, who's worse, Hank, Bill or me? And it's like, Shepard.
You know what? That answer takes it all. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I always just think back to that episode of Breath of the Wild where he was on and everybody else was on and he kept trying to read chat, but he doesn't want to wear glasses because he's like, my eyes are fine. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
I left.
And he just, yeah, like you two left because he literally couldn't read chat. Like, get glasses. Also go to the doctor for your myriad heart problems. Like, he frequently will just tell me, like, oh, my chest is really tight and it hurts. And I'm like, you should probably see a doctor about that. And he's like, no, it's okay.
There's a lot of that going around, huh? You're in Canada, though.
Yeah, that's my point! It costs you nothing but your time. Go to the doctor and be like, I'm having chest pains. And this has been going on for like 7 years.
I have a $50 gift card.
Oh, yeah?
Use that. I'm thinking about the Wolf Link amiibo, which is $42.
I think you're like, I'm thinking about these things that were like $10 on release and now they're just like exorbitantly priced. Well, did that actually just finish off everybody? No?
Do you want mine? Excuse me, sir.
I mean, Misty seems like the one that buys the amiibos.
Oh, yeah.
Shepard sounds as dumb as Fry, the dumbass sort of friend who would rather get disability and see the doctor about his fucking dumb leg. Here's the thing. Shepard's like not a stupid person, he's just an idiot. Like, I spent years telling him this. I'm like, if you apply yourself and do things, you actually are really smart. But he is also the type of person that at one point in grade 7 crawled on top of his desk and went, look at me, I'm a cat, and then curled up in a ball on his desk.
That's fair.
Took me 15 years to decide and finally deal with my depression. Depression's tougher, though. Like,
Yeah, that's like there's a good reason why you're not dealing with it.
and it's the depression.
In and of itself, it's very determined to win, basically.
Like, I know we're kind of making a joke out of it, but it's also true. Like, depression is its own defeating problem.
Maybe I'll buy that very Vertical Souls poster. You know what I'm
Dude,
talking
that
about?
poster's so good.
Because I had the small one and I broke it somehow. I ripped it, or I don't remember what happened. No, the medium size is. Oh, never mind. Only the small one is available. The rest of them are sold out.
What
Well.
you do is you get 2 small ones and you put them on either side of something else as decoration. He's a lazy dumbass? Yeah, that's basically it. Like, also, I think Shepard has that problem of he doesn't want confirmation. Like with Rachel's dad or with my dad, like he's got that guy thing where he doesn't want to be told something is wrong because then it's real. Like, if it's just, oh, my heart hurts, then he could be like, well, maybe I just ate too much greasy food that day. And it's like, that shouldn't make your heart hurt.
There's a review for this poster, which obviously is a weird size, so it makes sense you'd have to get a frame made for it. Sure. This guy just said, I shopped around and got a guy to make a custom frame for $280. Was worth every penny. You can do that so cheap.
You literally can make
you can make it yourself. Yeah, so easily. Oh, wait a minute.
custom frame by just buying shit at Michael's.
Final boss, clap, clap.
Final
let's
boss.
Like some of the thing, like some of my posters I don't have in frames just because I can't hang like heavy frames on my walls because I want my deposit back. But one of the things you can do is you literally just get like really thick cardstock that's super big and just cut a frame out in the center.
Oh, it's the fucking spider thing.
Put the poster in it.
Yeah, it is this thing. Okay. Let's go. Look at its brain boobs.
Yeah.
Brain?
It does have brain boobs. We put dime-sized holes in our walls, what they told us. They're like, holy shit, dude. That's a pretty big hole.
You know, we're allowed thumbtacks size holes. So, aka, that's their way of going no holes.
This place is intended to like people live here for a long time. Like everyone I've ever met here has lived here for years.
My apartment complex has a 2-star rating out of 5.
I think ours is 5.
I'm trying to find another place to live immediately.
That place should be canon.
69 reviews.
Look up. You know, I'm
You
never.
can already type it, yeah. If you want to. Pass that on.
I was just about to voice it, and I'm like,
That's what I was saying. If you want to pass it on, you can type that.
Not just dox yourself. What goes wrong? Ow! Electricity hurt. Fire hot! That's one of my favorite.
Wait until you get the chain on the shotgun.
Ow! I fucking hurt myself a little bit. I think that's one of my favorite Futurama clips. Just the prophecy will help. Ow! Fire hot!
Oh man, I miss when the pool here could be used.
Did you use the pool?
No, never.
Ow.
My niece is good.
I'm sorry. Did you just lunge at me?
How is she? Didn't she have COVID?
No, this is a scare. Never had it. My sister had heart surgery.
What?
Oh, is she okay?
Gnarly scar. Well, it was more like around the heart. Gunk around it. But yeah, she's good now. She's already back home. Like after like a day recovery, which is pretty good. Obviously.
There's a guy at work who like has a hernia, like to the point where like you can see it through the shirt, and
What
that he
the
wears.
fuck?
So it's bad, and the hospital's just like, oh, it's not an emergency, so you have to wait till after COVID.
What?
He's just like, you can see. He's like, you can see it, guys. Like it looks like his stomach has a nose.
Oh, look at the way it is up like a spider.
It's an umbilical hernia.
This guy's probably gonna die. Gonna be real.
Yeah, they're like, just wear a weightlifter's belt that like compresses.
You know, that's actually not terrible advice. Like, as long as something is holding it in place and he's not doing strenuous labor, he should be okay. But also, like, get help. Like,
I'm trying to find a bad review of my place.
let me
They're all
in.
5 stars.
I want the
Okay,
4.
they're all 5 stars. There's like 2 1 stars.
Yeah, but those 2 1-star. It's when a place is that nice, it's always like they did something scummy to get kicked out.
Yeah.
Your brain shouldn't still be doing that, I think.
It's powerful brain.
Did you hang all your posters up yet?
We're buying frames for him. We were going to today, and then we realized that most of them were Connor's, and it was me and Rachel. We're like, we're not shopping for his frames.
I want to
So
say,
we
by the
left.
way, I hate that spider fact because I know that spider fact, and
I
every
also know
single
it.
time I kill a spider, I watch legs go, and I go, oh.
Stop the invasion.
But
Wait, what?
they don't have bones because they're
Come at a price.
an insect, right?
Argent.
And so they just curl up on themselves because of hydraulic pressure is what keeps their legs pushed out. But basically the liquid in their body stopping moving makes them go,
Understand your motivation. You
Eat
think the
that.
only
Oh, so
way
that's
is
why
to
they
kill
curl
them
up
all,
like little balls.
leave nothing behind. And you may be right. But we can't just shut it all down.
but we can't just stop the fossil fuels!
Worse. I don't expect you to agree.
Without fossil fuels, it would be worse. If we weren't currently still polluting the planet, it would be worse right now. Just imagine the world if we had to use all entire solar power. I'm not the villain. It's those big energy tech companies that are.
What the fuck? This review is, they're upset because living month to month is $70 more than signing an actual lease. Of course it is. They're
Yeah,
gonna
'cause
charge more for that.
Because typically people that live
my
month to month are
God.
scummy, where they like don't want to stay there permanently and like.
Oh, look at the sword!
Like, imagine sitting there and going, I'm not the villain. Giant lightsaber, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, he's literally sitting there and saying, like, if we weren't burning those dinosaur bones, it would be the Dark Ages out there. And that's why us, the big oil barons, are the good guys. And I need this laser sword so that way I could kill the liberals, I guess.
A lot of Republicans, speaking of, a lot of Republicans are really upset right now because a lot of Democrats are like, fucking put Trump, like, in behind bars, like, impeach him, please.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff you could literally just try him for the second he's out of office.
Ooh, they left another review for a different apartment 1 week ago. Also a 1-star. They seem like bad tenants.
There should be a thing where where landlords can leave fucking reviews of tenants.
Oh,
I don't want to give them any more power. Yeah.
Like, if they're real bad.
There's
I guess that's what, like, have you ever been evicted? Like that, I guess.
Human? Yeah, Spelunk.
I'm gonna go get a drink and stuff because I'm pretty sure there's no follow-up cutscene to that, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Maybe there is, but
I also don't think
we'll explain it.
Yeah, I don't think I'll necessarily miss it if I go. But
Did you beat it?
What?
Did you beat it?
Yeah.
Yeah, popcorn. Good idea. She gave an Applebee's 1-star. Great service, terrible food.
I do just want to say before I go, the one thing that I do want landlords to have that review service for is because Hannibal Buress is a landlord. So if nothing else, we can make fun of Hannibal Buress more. Imagine the shitty comments he would be.
They gave Buffalo Wild Wings a 5-star though.
Of course, it's Buffalo Wild Wings. You
Yeah.
can get any more Republican than Buffalo Wild Wings.
I mean, I do love Buffalo Wild Wings though.
I do too, but most of the time I go there, it's like banjo picking, you know, brothers and
That's
sisters
true.
and shit like that.
Connor's brother works at one. Discount. He gets 1 free meal a day. I mean, that's pretty good.
When I used to work at the Italian restaurant, they did that. You can get 1 free meal, like, which included, like, obviously drinks were, you could drink however much you want. But, including alcohol. They let us drink the alcohol there. But, it was like lunch and then do you want a dessert? You can have a dessert if you want it. I usually just was like, can I just have desserts? Instead of a lunch, can I have 3 desserts in its place? And then that's how I gained 10 pounds. Because cannoli? Oh. They're still in Italy and it makes me mad. Now and then they send me things like through email.
I'm still pretty sure I'm supposed to be paying for a carport that I use every single day.
Oh.
But nobody said anything. And sometimes, if I park by accident in the spot next to it, the guy will leave a note that's like, get out of my spot. And he's really mad about it. One time he drew a middle finger on it. And it's like, the spot next to me is still open. It's literally right next to me. It's not that big of a deal, dude. Like I messed up. It was dark and the wrong one. Seems really rude.
One day you should vote before he leaves one that just says, "There's a spot next to me."
I kept the note on me when I drove somewhere, and then somebody was parked like an asshole at work, and I put it on their windshield. So it got more use.
You recycled the asshole.
Or no, it was when we were hiking. Somebody like parked their car right in front of the start of the hike trail
Oh, that's dumb.
for some reason, instead of in the parking area. It was just like 80s Camaro, and I was like, this guy's probably a douche. Oh, I guess this has this little cinematic at the end. Oh, there it goes. Is it gay to recycle your own asshole?
Yeah, I came back just
You're
in
asking
time
the
to
real
see
question.
Doom Guy shooting a guy and then that.
You're asking the real questions. I'm gonna say yes.
So I guess that
I'd
was
say
like
it
the
is.
ending. It
Yeah, that was it.
was just
There
like
wasn't
some
really anything.
cutscenes of.
Yeah, it barely even anything. Yeah.
I got a granola bar while I was up there.
Nice. I bought some today.
Got some of those Kashi granola bars.
Dude. I did the pickup order thing, and they have you like, call a number and just say your last name, and they brought out someone for Ann Anderson, like ANN, which by the way, stupid name. Don't call your kid Ann if their last name is Anderson. Maybe they married into it. But anyways, they brought out the food for the wrong person, and we were just like, she was like, "I'm so sorry," and I was like, "I'm so sorry."
We're
It
just
sucked.
gonna skip this.
Yeah, it's over.
That's Dude.
That's
I
dude.
was supposed to go to the store today, and then I ended up sleeping until noon.
Well, you slept till noon.
Yeah.